Hi, we're here with Lisa Chissis. She's the president and owner of Flex-a-lite. We'd like to learn a little bit about the company. How did the company start?
Well, my grandfather started the company back in 1962, and the name Flex-a-lite came from the original Flex fan that he introduced onto the market. So this was a lightweight fan that was meant to flex out at higher engine RPMs when you had enough ram air. Therefore, you wouldn't have as much drag on the engine, and you could get better performance out of the vehicle.
Now, your family, though, and Flex-a-lite didn't stop with just this one invention. You've got a long history of innovations and patented technology. Why don't you take us through each generation and what the patents were?
Sure. So yeah, Grandpa started out with the fiberglass fan, and then the fans became stainless steel as well. And then my father started with the company in 1976. And he actually developed the first electric fan that Flex-a-lite offered to the aftermarket, and he also received a patent for this design. We got into the oil cooler business under my father's leadership. He took over at about 1991, and we started making these coolers in the mid-90s. And then I had my own hat at invention in this whole game too, so I developed a side tank design that can be used for radiators so that you have a versatile mounting system that can mount the electric fan as well as your mounting bracket for the radiator here. But it also has additional fins for heat dissipation, so it's a better performing side tank than what they would have for the original.
Let's talk a little bit about that manufacturing capabilities, because you were making everything right here, from plastics to the metal to the end product. Talk about the capabilities that Flex-a-lite has to produce things.
Yeah, people are usually surprised when they see all that we are literally doing in-house. So we literally have molding machines anywhere from 15 tons up to 850 tons. So the shroud that gets used in the truck market is molded, where we're taking pellets and molding them into a finished product. All the fan blades are molded in-house as well. But not just the molding, we also do all of our metal stamping in-house. So all the bracketry that you would use to mount the fan. So we develop a kit, for example. Let's say we had a TJ kit that we did. You've got mount points, you've got mounting brackets that have been made by us in-house, and take the radiator. So this side tank is actually milled with our Haas. So we can put in the inlets and the outlets. We can even custom make one because we're doing it in-house. And you can see we're doing all the welding by hand. So there's no epoxy in this weld. And really, I'm proud of the job these guys do in putting these things together. So we are making our own oil coolers in-house as well. And because they're being built by us, we can also customize these coolers for a customer's application. That means if they need a 2-row, 4-row, 6-row, or they want to modify the length of this cooler, that's something that we can offer. We can also customize the fittings for them. You see that we can do either a 3/8, a 6/8 in, a 1/2 inch FPT, whatever they need for their application. We're manufacturing, we're also doing the packaging so that our products can get used globally. You see that we're letting you know in English, Spanish, and French on our packaging design, as well as a UPC code to indicate the date that it was manufactured, and specifications for the product in all 3 languages as well.
And the products you're making, you're not just making these and shipping them out. You go out and use them and go to enthusiast events. Why don't you talk a little bit about the Jeep Wrangler radiator and fan combination, some of the things you experienced and what you learned and how that changed the product?
Yeah, that was real world experience. So we had developed our first off-road Jeep fan combination, and I bought myself a TJ and decided I wanted to take it off-road. So I kind of did baptism by fire and decided to go to Moab and do the Metal Masher Trail.
It's kind of a tough time that we're living in economically, and a lot of companies are pulling back. They're not necessarily creating new products. They're not out there marketing their products. How is Flex-a-lite reacting in this time?
Yeah, so again, falling back to those values of having integrity, innovation, distinguished quality, we didn't cut back on our development of new products. We continue to introduce not just one, but many new products throughout this recession, as well as our marketing efforts have not backed down. We'll be introducing a new catalog at the SEMA show this year as well. We plan on continuing to go on things like the Power Tour and going to off-road events and making sure people can see our products.
All right. And what are the key new products that you're going to be introducing at the 2011 SEMA show?
We have a new CJ kit that we've done, which is a radiator fan combination. I think it'll be real popular, as well as a 2010 Camaro kit, which is the most complex radiator I've seen them build to date. We also have a cooler kit that we did for that Camaro application, which is nice hard mounting points for the auxiliary transmission cooler for the people that have an automatic transmission. We also did some Mojave heater kits, so we make an auxiliary heater that you can do, it's small enough to fit underneath the seat or underneath the dash, so you can still keep your toes warm. So we've done some mounting kits to complete that for automotive as well as UTV applications for Mojave. This is Flex-a-lite's new Flex-a-chill radiator additive product. This reduces your engine temps by up to 20 degrees, but it also will prevent electrolysis from happening in your system. If you're using a low quality water source, it'll prevent the scaling from happening from common calcium or magnesium that can be found in your water, but it can also be used in conjunction with your antifreeze. It's got properties that help lubricate your system so you don't have to add any gels, and it can also be used on the track.
I'm Chris Duke, and today on Motors, I'm going to show you how to install an E-fan and an air intake kit on a 2005 Ford F-150 pickup truck. Drop your new E-fan into place, and once it's down there, you can secure the mounting plates to the mounting brackets on the side with a 10mm bolt. Now you want this to butt up right against that radiator.
I'm going to show you our new fan radiator combination for the 2010-2011 Camaro. This is part number 56488, and it's going to come from the factory with the fan already mounted. You can see we're using the channels here with the Flex-a-fit system, so we're not going through the core. I've also got all the bracketry we're going to need to complete the installation, as well as the butt connectors that we'll need to complete the wiring. Alright, now I'm ready to put the radiator fan into the Camaro. It's going to sit on those bottom brackets. I can clear the hose on that side. First, you got to remove what was already in there. So I can loosen up the bolts in here to remove the belt-driven fan that was in here, as well as the radiator. I'm then going to use these stock locations here to put in the new Flex-a-lite radiator. You're going to want a friend to help you with this part, because we're going to sit the radiator down onto this rail so that we can get it into position. Go ahead and drop it down.
Do you know how much horsepower it takes for your engine to spin a 30-pound steel clutch fan? It's more than you might think. So it would make sense that eliminating the factory fan for a lightweight cooling system, you can return as much as 27 horsepower and 34 pounds-feet of torque with improved cooling.
Differences that you can see from the outside are these T-channels. That makes it very easy to adjust the mounting brackets to mount the radiator to the car, or to mount an electric fan on the radiator or an overflow canister or any other type of accessories. What you can't see is on the inside there are cooling fins that greatly increase the surface area that contacts the coolant. The Flex-a-lite's reached 50 years now, 3 generations. There's just so much, but where's the company go from here?
Well, the reality is I'm 41 years old. I'm still ready to rock and roll, and I'm still ready to move forward. Those values will be there. We are performance cooling, and we're not done in that package. So be looking at other cooling components that we'll be going after.